Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Hello. We're back. My name is Source Supreme. This is Final Fantasy XIV. And today, we're going to be continuing Stormblood's Post-MSQ. Yeah. If you enjoy this content, the content that I do, which is voiceovering all the characters and all of the NPCs that I come across, so long as they don't have dialogue themselves that they are speaking, then do hit that subscribe button if you want to see more of this stuff. Like and follow on Twitter, on Twitch. Stay notified of when I go live. That way you can be here and you can catch all the action as it happens. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started.
Come to see how we're getting on? We've made good progress since we took back Alamigo, but there's one big issue we still have to address. Leadership. The Domans had Lord Hien ready and willing to take the throne, but we've got no one like that here. Theodoric was our last ruler, and he wasn't called the Mad King for nothing.
Oh.
Suffice it to say, our people have had their fill of kings, which means we need to find a new way forward.
If only it were that easy. Everyone and his uncle has an opinion. For the time being, we're just going to have to keep leaning on General Aldin and the Alliance for support, and see if we can't find a solution together. Something tells me we're going to be hosting a lot of meetings in the near future. But if that's what it takes, I'm ready to talk till my jaw aches. The Reach is yours, Nago. Don't do anything I wouldn't.
Aye, aye, Commander.
So what are we doing then?
There you are. I've been searching all over for you.
Hey, Arnvald.
Don't worry, it's nothing bad. That said, this might not be the best place to talk. Will you join me?
Okay. What's up, Arnvalds?
I'll get to the point. Might you be interested in a spot of adventure?
Oh.
After all, we were adventurers before we were scions, were we not? After routing the Imperials and liberating Alamigo, I reckon we've earned a bit of respite, don't you? And what better way to spend it than by returning to our roots?
Okay. What ideas you got?
What say you? Shall we call on Alphino and go adventuring?
Twist my arm. It's what we do, I suppose. I don't know, is this sarcastic? I don't want to sound sarcastic, because, like, I want to go on an adventure. But this seems apprehensive. I guess I'll go apprehensive for now. Oh, okay, it wasn't apprehensive. See, but how was I supposed to know? Alright. A little adventure. Okay. I like a good adventure. So, Arnvald, what are we doing? Right then. Let's go find Master Levier. Actually, leave that to me. I want you fresh for our little adventure. Wait for us by the Aetheryte and we'll be along shortly. See you there. Okay. What are you planning, Arnvald? what you got in store for us? I think once I'm done with the MSQ, post-MSQ, I'm gonna do Omega. I might actually end up doing it before I finish, because in my free company that I'm in, they do minimum eye level Omega runs. So if I unlock it, and I unlock the extreme versions, I could actually join people for raids if I have time, and if they have me. Greetings, Call. 'Twould seem we are to accompany Arnvald on some manner of escapade. Have you any idea what we've gotten ourselves into? Allow me to explain. It'll be something of a history lesson, but I'll try to be brief. No snoring, if you please. Now, the events I would speak of occurred before the occupation, back when Alamigo was still a monarchy, and Theodoric sat on the throne. A uniquely brutal despot, by all accounts. That he was. The King of Ruin suffered no rivals, real or imagined, and his dispute with the monks of the Fist ended with Rauger's Reach being burned to the ground. In the later years of his rule, he was seized by the unshakable belief that unseen forces were conspiring to steal his crown, and so he ordered that every soul with a claim to the throne be executed, including his own family. The wealth of the poor sods he put to death became the property of the king, and it's said that these royal treasures were hoarded somewhere in the palace. Thus was born the legend of the Mad King's Trove. Ah, I believe I see the direction our adventure is to take. I assume you would have a mind to unearth this hidden bounty? You assume correctly. And would I also be correct in assuming that this legend is widely known? Others must surely have gone in search of your prize, tempting as it seems. Well, of course we won't be the first to make the attempt. Following Alamigo's liberation, more than a few eager soldiers turned the palace upside down in hopes of claiming an easy fortune. But, even after scouring every room from dawn till dusk, they uncovered not a single coin. Their gold lust drained away as quickly as it had come, and the legend of the Mad King's Trove remained simply that, a legend. But I see you have no intentions of letting the story end there. What self-respecting adventurer would? Imagine, the three of us, delving into a decades-old mystery. Tell me the thought doesn't set your heart racing. It does. I'm totally about it. Let's go adventuring. We're going on an adventure! Hurrah! I've learned the emote box. What is that? I want to see that. Box. Oh, that's sick. That's hilarious. Also, I never did Eastern Bow. What? No, bow. We're boxing. Ooh. Ooh. Ah. Ooh. That's fun. I like that. Ooh. Oh. Dairyu Myaku. Dairyu Myaku. Ooh, Dairyu Myaku. Dairyu Myaku. Aiming, healing, casting. Man, I forget. Which is the ones... Slaying is the ones that I would use, probably. Okay. That's cool. We're getting just a whole armor coffer. The news of Doma and Alamigo's liberation has rekindled the flames of revolution in every corner of the Empire. I hear the imperial province of Dalamasca has already risen up in rebellion, which means the Gallians must surely have their hands full. What better time than now to indulge in such a diversion? Tell us, Arnvald, have we any clues to where we might begin our search? Our search? Ooh, my voice cracked. Well, judging by how the other treasure hunters fared, nosing about the palace isn't like to get us anywhere. So, we'll probably need to, ask around. Would that be another way of saying no? Well, yes. I see. In that case, I shall pay a visit to the Allied Archivist and request access to the records seized from the Imperials. The Garleans are meticulous about such things. If they uncovered the trove during their occupation, the event is certain to have been recorded. In the meantime, you two can track down those who worked as palace servants and officials in Theodoric's day. Given that they would have at least been 20 at the time, you will be looking for people who have seen 40 summers or more. Anything they can tell you about the king and his bloody deeds may prove useful, so be sure to listen well. Arnvald, pray try your luck in the fringes and the peaks, whilst Colm makes rounds in the Alamigan Quarter. Ha! And there I was thinking I was the party leader. Not that I mind, of course. Let us be about it, eh? We can meet afterwards at Gelbard's Gate. Okay. To the Alamigan Quarter. That was weird. I couldn't see the Aetheryte from the Guralbania map. Oh, it's there. It's just really hidden. So there's a middle-aged Highlander here. Hi, how are ya? In the palace? No, not me, lad. Surely you've heard stories of the Mad King. He used to hold public executions up on the Divine Audience. Anyone, and I mean anyone, suspected of conspiring against the crown was flung from the top of those steps. Suffice it to say that I stayed as far away from the palace as possible. Understandable, I get that. Oops, wrong button. You want to hear an old maid's stories, do you? Aye, well, most of what I know of the Mad King is common knowledge. We'd only seen His Royal Majesty when he deigned to attend the executions he ordered, and after a while, even watching his enemies die wasn't enough to coax him out of hiding. They say he started seeing assassins in every shadow, and wouldn't set foot outside the palace walls. I was offered work there as a royal servant once, but the mere thought of it left me in a cold sweat. Yeah, I wouldn't want to serve a dude that was very like to kill me on the spot if he just suspected any wrongdoing. That sounds like not a great job. Performance. Retired Rogated. Aye, I served at the palace of King Theodoric, and lived to tell the tale. One of the palace guards, I was. Truth be told, it was a dark chapter in my life, and one I'd sooner forget. Hardly a night went by when we didn't hear blood-curdling screams echoing from the inner chambers, which, of course, we were under orders to ignore. So we'd stand still as statues, trying not to imagine what horrors were unfolding within. If you're hell's bent on finding out what happened in the palace, head down the street here and ask old Aranold. He was the king's head scribe. The head scribe. Wow. Oh, I can fly. Why was I not doing this before? I'm a fool. I know nothing. I take the role of a silly clown. Yes, I am Aranold. What do you want with me? You would have me dredge up some decidedly unsavory memories. Yet, if Alamigo is to move forward, we must needs acknowledge the misdeeds of the past. Very well. I shall tell you what I remember. I take it you know of Theodoric's paranoia and the public executions of his kinsmen? Those were terrible enough, but in his last days, the king's fervid mind settled upon an even grislier method of disposal, which only a chosen few were unfortunate enough to witness. His Majesty ordered the court thaumaturge to unleash a vile curse upon the remaining members of the royal family, a magic which transformed them into fiends of hideous aspect. The resulting monstrosities were then cast into the darkness below the palace. Even now my sleep is troubled by nightmares. If others of Theodoric's blood were prone to share his madness, then mayhap it is a kindness that monarchy ended with him. Oh. That's not, that's quite unsavory. That is definitely the right word to use. Oh, this is a cool section. Oh, is that what it looks like when it flies? That's cute. Since we're all here, why don't we share what we've learned? Allow me to begin then. As promised, I scoured the Imperial records for any mention of fantastic treasures, and found precisely none. It is just possible, I suppose, that the corrupt official deliberating hid the fact of the trove's discovery, hoping to enrich himself. But I find it rather unlikely that so valuable a find would stay secret for long. I conclude that our prize either does not exist, or that the Imperial somehow overlooked it. But what of you, Call? Were your investigations any more fruitful? Turned into monsters? And what could he mean by this darkness beneath the palace, I wonder? I met an old man in Alagiri who spoke of the palace's subterranean prison, but he said naught of cursed abominations. The Imperial archives were also silent on the subjects of fiends inside the palace grounds. Could this scribe fellow have been spinning him a yarn, do you think? Did you believe him, Call? His fear seemed genuine. If he was afraid, that does lend credence to the tale. Though, I'm not sure how that helps us in our search. Do not be so hasty. Erinold's anecdote may very well have told us where the trove is hidden, but ere I share my theory, there is a matter I would clarify. Arnvald, you spoke of a light-hearted adventurer, but I sense a deeper motive for this expedition. Why are you so intent on finding this treasure? It wasn't all pretense, I swear it, but you're right. My father was in the Imperial Army, a man of Garlean blood. I trust you know what I mean when I say that my Alamegan mother did not welcome my arrival. As I grew, she would check my brow over and over, convinced that a spot on my skin was an emerging third eye, like the kind you see in pureblood Garleans. My mother did not care for this taunting reminder of my heritage, and took up a knife. War paint serves to cover the scar. In the end, she turned me out into the street, and I was left to haunt the alleyways of Alamigo, a feral child who got what he needed through begging, cunning, or worse. The best I can say about the years that followed is that I survived, but I hated the animal I'd become. Eventually, I left the city behind me, and joined a group of refugees bound for the other side of the wall. It was then that I turned to adventuring, and that road led me into the company of the Scions. I tell you this so that you understand. I know all too well what poverty and hunger can do to a person. I drew steel on ordinary folk for a measly crust of bread. With Theodoric's gold, I could spare my countrymen the shame of living like that. Thank you, Arnvald. And I apologize. That cannot have been pleasant to recall, but I feel it best to be clear in our intentions. Well, Call, are you content to surrender the treasure to Arnvald's noble cause, and claim the thrill of adventure as your reward? Oh yeah. I don't need the money. I mean, I kinda do, but he needs it. Then I should be glad to tell you my theory on the resting place of the Mad King's Trove, if you are mind to hear it. Let's go slaying. I'm gonna be slaying. Alright, let's go ahead and open that coffer up. Cool. Let's see if it's better than my armor. Oh. Oh. It's those. It's not actually It wasn't armor. Oh, that's interesting. Why is everything so out of order? I don't get why it does this. Also, I noticed there are... Huh. Do I have anything at that low level? Sorry, give me a moment. You were at 37, so does that mean I could... Oh yeah, look at that. Rip the drip, but... Drip means nothing. For old clothing. Rip the drip. Yeah, we'll get rid of those. We're actually going to sell those for company seals, because we need company seals. Alright. So that was new... These. And I think we should have gotten a ring. But... Doesn't look like it's... Here. Oh, we have a lot of different rings. A lot of different rings. But we haven't overcapped on any of them, so I'm good in the meantime. Oh no, we got a earring. But our earring is just the best earring we can have, so... Yep. Alright, the Mad King's Trove. Actually, mayhap it would be better if we first adjourned to a more suitable location. In case a rival treasure hunter overhears our plans, you mean? Good thinking. That was not exactly the reason, but 'tis certainly a valid concern. Let us reconvene on the southern edge of Loch Seld. Okay. The lower end of Loch Seld. Oh, okay. Right over there. Cool. I like this area. Forgive me. It was not my intention to draw out proceedings. I simply wished to have the lock in sight when I explained things. Prior to the great flood of the Sixth Umbral Calamity, the salt lakes you see before you were yet dry ravines. And this, believe it or not, was the site of an ancient city of Scalia, which rose and fell during the Fifth Astral Era. From what we know of the period, the city was already deserted by the time the waters began to rise, having been all but destroyed by war. Yet its ruins remain to this day at the bottom of the Loch Seld. It is my belief that the darkness beneath the palace, mentioned by Theodoric's former scribe, was not a reference to the prison, but to a place still further below, the ruins of Scala. I further surmise that the Mad King's unfortunate kingsmen were cast down there, not simply out of desire to punish them, but to discourage exploration. Theodoric wanted to keep the ruins secure. Wait, you're saying they were meant to guard the Mad King's Trove? Precisely. And since we know the court thaumaturge was involved, we can safely assume that any entrance into the old city will have been magically concealed. Which would explain how a legion of Imperial soldiers and the gods know how many Alamegans we never found a trace of the Trove. We, however, have certain advantages which they do not enjoy. Paul, would you be so good as to swim down to the bottom of the loch and search for an underwater route into the ruins? While you do that, Arnvald and I will seek out an ensorcelled portal within the palace. I'll look for the practical way in, you look for the magical way in. Understandable, considering I can breathe underwater. Now, to the depths. This is a cool area. That's promising. Right underneath the steps. And then underneath the palace. Ooh. Look at that. Cool. You discover a passage that appears to lead under the palace foundations. Press on and find out where it goes. Awesome. You have come to a worn stone door, standing temptly ajar. It would appear you have found an entrance into the subterranean ruins. I'm getting a call. Paul, it's Alphino. We have searched the prison beneath the palace and found a teleportation portal concealed by enchantments. The markings indicate it leads to an underground cavern. What news on your end? I found a stone door. And you believe it leads to the ruins? Then I dare say we will be able to meet within. Go on and head through the door. By the way, I took the liberty of calling on a friend for help. I guarantee she's both dependable and discreet. We'll see you soon. The Drowned City of Scala. Ooh, that's cool. Cool. Dungeon. Let's go. And we can go in with NPCs if we want. Oh, interesting. Let's do with people. I think that would be fun. I gotta untick what I was doing earlier. Drowned Temple of Scala. Interesting. Very interesting. It's gonna be one of the first dungeons I do with Reaper. It's fun. But yeah. Today, we're gonna have to break soon just to have lunch. But I'll be able to continue playing for quite a while today. Not super long, because I'm going to need to break to eat dinner, and I'm going out to eat with some friends. So I won't be able to continue streaming through that. It's probably just going to take too long. And I probably won't start streaming again when I get back from that. But the goal for today is just to keep playing through the MSQ here. Try it out with Reaper, see how I like it. And then I'll maybe do the starter quest for Omega. I might actually just do Omega on the side, just because of how much time it kind of took and how I'll see how the Alexander videos go, the VODs, and then I will determine whether or not I'll do it on stream based off of that. But yeah, so far I've been enjoying the content that I have available to me. Doing all of the Alexander quest was really fun. Now I have access to the extreme, or the savage stuff, which is super funny to me, just because, like, there's no way I'm going to be doing these anytime soon. I need to get a really good group together, play with them a lot. Yeah. Why are the colors different? the regular Stormblood trials are all black and white, but the extremes have color. That's interesting. I want to do the extreme trials for Heaven's Word, but I need to do those in a group, especially because I already don't really know how I don't know how regular what's this freaking called? Bismarck. I don't know how regular Bismarck works, so extreme Bismarck is gonna be quite the challenge. I loved Ravana's fight, so I'm gonna love Ravana Extreme. I think that's gonna be super cool. I also loved Thoradin's fight, so that's gonna be super cool. Loved Nidhogg, though I think this is probably a super hard one. This might be one of like the hardest ones in the game currently. I'm not sure. These fights were cool, if not just kind of confusing. And I believe, are those all the trials in Heaven's Word? I think they are. Let me look. Yeah, I think they are the trials. Those are indeed the only trials for Heaven's Word. Not that many. Not that many. Surprising. We still have quite a few trials for Stormblood to unlock, because we haven't unlocked the... what's it called? The endgame trials. Excuse me. Had to yawn. But yeah, we haven't unlocked those. I believe they're called the Four Lords, which tells me there's 4 of them. And then... yeah, that'll be fun. The extreme versions of those... I'm not sure how to unlock them, but I'm sure they exist. Yeah, when we do eventually finish Stormblood in its entirety, right, and we're getting ready to get into Shadowbringers, I will probably take a pause in like just jumping right into it and do a bunch of other things that I'll have available to me. Like at the end of this, I'm probably gonna have enough gil to actually do the Zeta weapon or Dragoon, which is what I would like to do. And I'll have a lot of Tombstone of Poetics, so I could probably do the Anima weapon if I wanted. And hopefully by that point, we'll decide whether or not we want to play Reaper in Shadowbringers. I'm thinking about it. What other class would I play if I could for Shadowbringers? Shadowbringers Dark Knight would be like the canonical one, right? In terms of like, if I wanted to play with the canonical class for every expansion, ARR, I would have needed to do Warrior. Heaven's Word, I did Dragoon, so I technically did that one. Stormblood, it would have been Monk. Shadowbringers, it's Dark Knight. Endwalker, I think it's Paladin. I think. And then it's Viper for Dawntrail, which I think I will play Viper for Dawntrail, but because I'll be able to unlock Viper at the end of Shadowbringers and technically be able to play it in Heaven's Word, I would probably play it in Heaven, or not Heaven's Word, Endwalker. I'd probably play it in Endwalker, maybe, if only just because I'd rather use the MSQ XP to level it up, right? And that's like the benefit of doing that, is using MSQ XP to level up the job to the starting point of Dawntrail. But then I would leave Reaper at basically level 80, And I would be leaving Dragoon at level 74, where it is currently. And so if I ever wanted to play Dragoon or Reaper again, because I like these two, and I think I'm going to like Reaper in terms of MSQ, and everything else, right? Because just like Dragoon, I like it for everything. So if I end up liking Reaper for everything, and I end up liking Viper for everything, I'll have one of the jobs at 100, but the other ones I won't. Never mind all the other jobs that are pretty much stuck at 50 or their unlock level. Sage, which I haven't even finished the quest for. And I think with the way current magic range DPS, if I were to level up one of them, I think I would prefer Red Mage. I want to try Pictomancer. I think Picto looks cool. I think Picto's gameplay looks fun, but I'm not sure about it. I like Red Mage. Summoner's just not it for me, but maybe in later levels it's more fun, but at the current level it's really boring. And Black Mage pre-changes seemed so cool, and now it seems kind of boring. I don't know, I gotta watch more Black Mage. If I wanted a physical range at 100, which one would I choose? I would probably choose Machinist. As much as I like Bard, and I think Dancer's cool, they're way too RNG dependent. Like, I have trouble staring at the bar when I'm playing those, even at these levels, so I could only imagine it's just worse. But Dancer's cool. I like Dancer. And I really like Bard. If I were to have a healer at 100, I'm honestly between Scholar and Astro. Scholar, mostly just because it seems like it'll be the easy one to play at pretty much all the levels, and Astro because I think Astro looks cool, and with its rework is a little bit easier. Tanks are honestly my hardest one, because in terms of aesthetics, I love all the tanks. And in terms of how you play them, I love all the tanks. But I don't think I like tanking. Which is kind of stupid. Aesthetically, I think I love all of the tanks. I think they're super cool. I think they look great. I think they play very fun with, like, their rotations. All of them have cool rotations and stuff. But I think I only like playing tanks in, like, bosses. So basically just trials. I'm sure I'm gonna love playing tank in trials and raids, endgame content, but for questing, I don't know. Maybe questing isn't that bad, but for first-timing dungeons, I don't want to first-time anything on a tank, which is my issue. I don't like first-timing things on a tank. I want to learn a fight on a DPS. Which sucks, because that's what most people want to do. This is interesting. I don't know why the sound seems so low for me. I think I gotta raise my volume on my headphones. Oops. That's not what I want to do. I want to do that. Cool. That's fun. I gotta say, on AoE, Reaper feels very strong. Oh, hey, a boss. Helpy. Oh, no. Oh, whoops. Ah! How was I supposed to know? Hydro push? Oh, stay close. Okay. It worked. Kinda. Okay, that was fun. That's cool. That's a cool little boss. And I did pretty well with my Reaper, I think. I'd like to think so. Oh boy. This is a big pack of enemies. Oh, I used the wrong thing. Oh, it's one of those things. The old one. Oops. Oh, what do I do? Nice. That was cool. Oh, we found the treasure. We found the treasure. Ah, I keep doing that wrong. Oh. Zangbeto. Ooh, I did a lot of those really quick. It's good. It's good. How goes that? Sweet. Ooh. Whoa. Oh, I did not know that was happening. Did I do it? Oh. This is actually quite the busy, Oh my gosh. Wow, this is a busy dungeon. Okay. Wow. What? Why did I get hit by that? Wow. That was a much harder dungeon. Oh, there's a person. Oh, they died. Oh, I was sad. Damn. Gotta give it to that red mage. I actually waited. And I got a player commendation. I did not deserve a player commendation. Oh, is that the Mad King?
It would appear this place is yet inhabited by King Theodoric's kin, or what is left of them. The work of terrible magics, I fear.
Oh, voice acting.
Terrible, aye. But their misfortune is our fortune?
Quite. By the 12, there is even more than I imagined.
Oh, I can't wait to see the look on Lisa's face. Thanks for believing in me, you two.
Aw. That's a very interesting dungeon. A tough dungeon, too. Arnvold and I tried to do our fair share, but I fear you ended up bearing the bulk of the burden as usual. You truly led the way with your adventuring prowess, my friend. Aye, without your help, I reckon we'd still be fumbling around in the dark. I'm glad I called on you. I must say, I'm still reeling at the sight of that mountain of riches. What? Like how you reeled at the sight of that floating specter, you mean? I wish you could have seen the look on your own face, Alphino. Must we dwell on such momentary lapses? We found the Mad King's trove, and that's all that matters. Haha. Fun! Alright. Before I continue, I will take a break, and I'm going to eat lunch. I will be back in a bit. Hello. I'm back. I'm back. Let me make sure that that is working. Alright, I'm back. Welcome back to the stream. I'm back. I've eaten lunch, and I'm ready to continue. And I know that I actually can't continue for super long. So, I'm going to try my best to get as far as I can in the meantime. Well, there we are. Ooh, an orchestrion roll. The measure of our reach. Hey. All jesting aside, we must tell people the good news. And I think Lise should be the first. Second, she is bound to be delighted. If I'm no longer needed, then I shall take my leave. Of course. Don't let us keep you. Thanks again, and say hello to Vama for me. Now then, there is to be a meeting of representatives from across Alamigo, so Lise is sure to be in the city. Shall we seek her out? Ba-da-ba. Whoa, lag. I'm moving again, game. Keep it up. Whoa. Wow. It's not liking moving around a lot right now. Alright, here we go. How to do Lise voice. Oh, you three look pleased with yourselves. What have you been up to? I'm glad you asked, Lise. I'm pretty sure you're gonna like the answer. Man, why is it lagging so much? You're joking. The Mad King's Trove? I thought it was a myth. So did plenty of people, but they didn't have Call and Alphino in their party. The credit for finding it should really go to them. As for what to do with it all, I vote it goes towards alleviating the suffering of Alamigo's poor. Gods, if there's as much as you say. Arenvold did not exaggerate, I assure you. We could not hope to carry even a fraction of it out on our own. I have taken the liberties of sketching out a rough map of the ruins. If you will assemble a squad of your most trusted freedom fighters, they should be able to follow the route to where the treasure lies. Understood. I will make sure every coin is accounted for, and that goes for the spending of it as well. Thank you. Oh, there's one other thing. When the time comes to drop a plan for distributing the spoils, I would ask that you consult Alphino. I don't have a head for details. I'm not educated. I see that simply handing out sacks of gil won't solve everything, but I couldn't rightly tell you what to do instead. Oh, I know the feeling. I'd welcome any advice you could give us, Alphino. Of course. I shall be at your disposal. Commander, we've got a problem. Deep breaths. Tell me, what's happened? A mob's gathered outside headquarters, and they've started making demands. You'd best come and see for yourself. Well, it's tumultuous times.
Step back, all of you!
Like hells we will! We know who you've got in there!
We're not leaving till you hand her over!
Bring her out! Bring her out!
Oh.
What's going on?
Someone let slip about Fedorla.
It's true then! The bitch really is in there! I knew it! I bloody knew it! We demand vengeance! Bring her out! Today we butcher the butcher!
Butcher the... Come on, you don't mean that! We'd be no better than the Imperials if you'd all just calm down!
Calm down! That monster and her thrice damned skulls dragged my man from our home and beat him to death in the street!
Aye, and my dad! That bitch has spilt enough blood to fill a lock!
We all know her crimes. She's a traitor and a murderer. How many of your resistance friends have died at her hands, eh? And here you are, protecting her!
So that's what all the fuss is about.
Oh, Raban.
Hearken to me, brothers and sisters of Alamigo.
Hey, who's this?
That's the Bull of Alamigo.
My friends, you are not alone in your anger, your grief, your despair, for it is mine as well. That gnawing pain in your breast, it is enough to bring an old bull to his knees.
Oh,
But I
Raban.
ask you, brothers and sisters, to think not only of the family and friends who were cut down before your very eyes, but to think also of the ones who were abducted, the ones who may yet live. Where were they taken? What became of them? These questions demand answers. I share your thirst for justice, for vengeance, but we will gain only fleeting satisfaction if we give in to our base appetites. We will never know the truth. Now is the time that we, the people of Alamigo, must decide what manner of nation we will build for ourselves, and for generations yet unborn. When they look to our example, will they see a people who held fast to their principles, or one who cast them aside when tried? I say to you, it is our responsibility to give these prisoners a fair trial, that they might answer to all of Alamigo. The Garleans called us savages, and I'll be damned if we prove them right.
I love Raban.
I know you're right, I do. But I can't.
Raban goaded. A bull on the battlefield. And a mind for the people. So good. My thanks, Raban. Listening to their anger, could feel myself being swept away. 'Tis a difficult tide to stem. 'Twas that same rage which brought us to our feet, and carried us to victory. But now the war is over. All the unspent fury is being channeled into vengeance. Aye, and it's not just here. We've reported of mobs forming all over. They've been targeting folk known to have cooperated with Garleans. It starts with insults most often, but then someone picks up a stone. Some industrious souls even sought to seek out the graves of Xenos and his officers. It was grim. I want to build a country where everyone, regardless of race or origin, can live side by side in peace. But maybe the time isn't right. Maybe people just aren't ready. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to try. The representatives will be here soon, and I'll be damned if I'm going to give up before I've even begun. Blah 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 blah. Who are these representatives exactly? Oh, village elders, refugee leaders and the like. It wouldn't be right for us to dictate the nation's future on our own, so we planned a summit of sorts. We've even invited the Ananta and Kirkland to participate. Alamigo stands at a crossroads, and this meeting will decide which path it takes. The matter of Fordola's sentence cannot be suffered to disrupt proceedings. Then let us execute her and be done with it. She herself has to be put to death. Nago, I already explained why we wouldn't do that. Sending her to the gallows might satisfy people right now, but where would it end? Should we round up everyone who collaborated, and everyone who didn't resist? There would be no one left, and we'd be no better than Theodoric and Xenos. Begging your pardon, but might I be allowed to speak with Fordola? Only I caught a glimpse of her past. A moment of it, anyway, during the fight. She's done terrible things, unforgivable things. But, in some ways, she's a victim of circumstances in which she was born. And that's something I can understand. Alright. Speak with the prison guard when you're ready, and I'll come and join you. I want to talk to her too. I'll return to my other duties then. We've barely begun to investigate the facility where they gave Fordola her powers. Be fairly warned, friends. She will test you. Don't let your emotions color your judgment when she does. Time to interrogate Fordola. You've the commander's permission to enter, then? Yes, please. Fordola.
Well. So many visitors. Come to have a good laugh, have you? Or do you mean to put me out of my misery? To finish what you started? It's about bloody time.
That's not why we're here, no. Do you remember what I said? How I promised you you'd live long enough to see us win our freedom? Well, I meant it. And not to mock you either.
You're wasting your time. All of this is pointless! There's no reason to keep me alive, and you know it! I killed your men. I killed my men. And you know what my only regret is? That I didn't kill you when I had the chance!
That's a lie, and you know it. You think we can't tell what you're trying to do? That we're blind? Yeah, you're a fool, but you're not stupid. You're ruthless. Relentless. You'd give up anything and everything to get what you want. You didn't come this far, climbing over the bodies of your own brothers and sisters just to piss it all away. I see you, Fordola. I see you for what you are.
Oh. Who are we getting to see now? Oh, young Fordola.
Come along, Fordola. We mustn't be late. The Imperial Viceroy will be attending today's banquet.
All right!
Father, what's Lord Gaius like? Is he nice? Are you friends?
There you go again with all your questions. Lord Gaius is a great and honourable man who looks after all of Alamigo. He's very busy, and if we don't hurry, we'll miss our chance to see him.
Filthy tin-head lovers.
Father, what did that man call us?
The little tin-head lover doesn't know what she is, eh? A traitor, sweetheart. A backstabbing bitch who gladly betray her kith and kin to gnaw on what few scraps the Imperials deign to toss her. Like your bastard father and whore mother.
That's not true! My parents are good people! They've never done anything like that!
Oh, but they were quick to help themselves and their bitch spawn, weren't they? You're just as guilty as them.
Fadola!
Traitors!
Please, you have to do something. My husband and daughter are in danger.
Soldiers of the Imperial Army are under no obligation to intervene in the disputes of arm.
We're citizens. We have rights.
Ah!
I'm scared.
It's all right. It's all right. They don't understand, but they'll see in time. They'll see that this is the only way to survive. Traitors! Traitors!
Let the savages have their fun. They'll be more compliant once they've tired themselves out.
Fadola, please. You already have citizenship. Why would you want to become a soldier? Oh, gods. What have you done to your face?
Forgotten it already, have you? I'm honoring Father's memory.
By telling the world that you know better than a common savage.
Am I though, Mother? Are any of us? Can't you see? Citizenship means nothing to them. If you're not a pure-blood Garlean, you're no different from any other savage. So I'll play the part. I'll join the Legion and I'll make them respect me. And when the mob see that, they'll think twice before throwing their stones. Ansfrid, Rudolph, Emlyn. It's time. It'll be hard. Humiliating. They'll try to break us. Send us crawling back to our own kind. But we won't, no matter what. We'll bleed for them, die for them if we have to. We'll do whatever it takes to be free!
The disillusions of a child. Because that's not freedom. How would that be freedom? Free from what?
So, you mean to play the part one last time, eh? The unrepentant traitor whose death will serve to unite the people?
Shut up.
You had every chance to kill yourself. Fashion a noose from your clothes. Wait for the guards to leave you alone long enough to slip it over your neck.
I said shut up!
Oh, but then it would have all been for nothing, wouldn't it? Whatever it takes. That's what you said.
Been in my head, have you? Had a little peek at my past?
It's not intentional.
A few stolen memories tell you everything you need to know, do they? Don't you dare patronize me! You don't know a god's damned thing about the life I've led! The bastards that killed him. The bastards that let it happen. My father deserved better! I swore I'd do whatever it took to make them pay!
Oh, she got flashes of everything I've done.
You. All that power. All that pain. It's too much. Too much for anyone. The things they've done to you. The lies. The betrayal. The endless fighting. Yet there you stand. Unbroken. How? Why?
You know why? You saw.
Damn you. Damn you all.
You still have time, Fordola. Think about how you want to spend it. Let's go.
Wow. Man. Okay. Wait. Use that orchestration roll. Boy. got quite a lot of stuff in our inventory now. Interesting. I don't remember getting that. I need another bombard core. Ugh. Almost. I almost have enough to get one. I don't know what we solved. I don't know that we solved anything exactly, but we've given Fordola something to think about at least. And I found something new to think about too. I don't know about you, Cole, but the visions only come to me every now and then. And the way Fordola kept wincing, though, I get the feeling she's having them almost all the time. That's a lot of bad memories to deal with. I wonder, could there be some fundamental difference between one who is born with the Echo and one who has been artificially imbued with it? Well, the Immortal Flames have been scouring the research facility ever since the liberation. There's a chance that they might have some answers for us. General Din's there overseeing the investigation. Let's go and pay him a visit, shall we? Pay him a visit, shall we? Said play him a visit, plowy. Plop, 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 plop. I don't know why. Oh, hey, I can walk up there. That's interesting. General Din is inside, aye? Will you be joining him? Yes, please. Oh. Cool. What news? You spoke with Fordola, I take it? Yes. As expected, she didn't say very much, but it wasn't a total waste of time. Ehrenwald noticed something odd about her. He thinks she might be having visions almost constantly, which is not how the Echo normally works. Have you found anything here which might explain why it's so different for her? We've been hard-pressed just to organize the research materials, let alone study them. To be frank, I'd welcome the science expert assistance if you have the time to lend a hand. Okay. The device in which cryo was held seems even more ominous now that you know its purpose. The surrounding pods are marked Supply Subject, while this one bears the label Master Subject. The Ironworks received a request from the Alliance to analyze these devices, and I've been recording everything of interest. Did you notice the labeling? All the pods are designed to drain aether if it's the occupant, save that one right there. Unlike the other ones, the interior has been fitting with an array of sensors to measure etheric waveforms. To what purpose, however, I couldn't tell you. Oh, there's something over there. Idle conversation prohibited. Eating and drinking prohibited. A fallen scrap of parchment appears to list facility regulations, but nothing of any interest. Well, that's a lot of stuff on the ground there. So many bodies. Every one of them a victim of these experiments. Few show any sign of external injury. From what we've been able to determine, they perished from forcible aether extraction. Such a miserable way to die. I know little and less of science, so any light you can shed on this facility's operations would be much appreciated. Call, shall we start with you? This is what I found. Excuse me. Taken in combination with the testimonies of Cryo and Thancred, I do begin to see exactly what the Imperials were attempting here. The enhancement procedure entailed infusing a single candidate with aether siphoned from a multitude of supply subjects. As for the master subject, in this case Cryo, the patterns of her aetheric activity would provide the model upon which they would artificially engineer the candidate's aura. In other words, they were trying to recreate Cryo's echo. I believe so, which would explain our prisoner's present state. Cryo is possessed of an unrivaled ability to hear the whispers of the soul, and it seems probable that this procedure engendered the same acute sensitivity in Fordola. The soldiers who guard Fordola, many of them lost friends and family to the skulls, and they're sentry at her door day and night. If she can't help but sense their thoughts and seething their past. But you don't just see their past, you live it. All the emotions, all the pain. Imagine what it'd do to you. It'd never be the same again. Indeed. As you may recall, Yuzeo was completely transformed by a single glimpse of Hraesvelgur's past. Fordola has been forced to experience the agony of those whose lives she destroyed. The guilt must be unbearable. That explains her request to be executed. Sounds to me like a kind of justice. Regardless, she can suffer on for now. We have more pressing matters to consider. If the results of these experiments have been relayed back to Garlemald, there will be naught to stop the Empire from repeating the trick. They could give the echo to anyone, to an entire legion. We must be ready. We must learn all we can of these gods-forsaken procedures, and Fordola remains our best source of information. She'll not be getting her wish. Not yet. Right. Keep faith, lass. If you're to convince the others to follow you, you must believe what you're telling them. People will respond to passion, but not if it's feigned. I understand. Thank you, General. We should leave the flames to it. Let's go. Oh, forgive me. My nose. It's itchy. And I don't know why. Oh, no. It's still sad. I go looking for answers about the echo, and I end up getting schooled by Raban. Yet ever more evidence that I don't know what I'm doing. It's no wonder people listen to him and not me. General Aldin is a veteran of countless campaigns, Lys. You cannot compare yourself to a commander of his experience. I know, but I also know that I couldn't have convinced that mob to give up and go home. It makes me realize how much we rely on his authority, and how much I still have to learn. I wonder what he'll do when everything here is settled. I mean, it's his homeland. After going to the troubles of winning it back, might he not want to stay? 'Tis a quandary which countless refugees now face, to continue the life they built in Ul'dah, or start again in the land of their birth. Call! A moment! I'm newly returned from Ul'dah with a message from the Sultana. Her Grace desires an audience with you. She understands that you have responsibilities here, but asks that you visit the palace at your earliest convenience. Well, I must away and attend to other business. Until next time, my friends. An audience with the Sultana. Depending on the nature of her consultation, this might be the perfect opportunity to inquire about the General's future plans. Yes, we'd all like to know about those, Alphino, but not everyone's as comfortable interrogating royalty as you. Take no notice of him, Call. Alphino's like, question the Sultana, figure out what she knows. Like, no, chill. A Sultana's strings. Oh. Well, Well, the question of how to put the Mad King's treasure to good use shows no sign of answering itself. Shall we be about it, Arnvald? I am at your beck and call. And I should be getting back to my own tasks. I'll organize a squad to head down into the ruins, and then start preparing for the big meeting. Oh, send Nanamo my regards, Call. And ours too, if you please. We shall see you on your return. I like this Arnvald's Alphino bond. I'm liking Arnvald a lot. He's nice. He's a very chill guy. He's got passion. He's fun. He's got heart. He actually has character. It's nice. Here we are. Hello, Genless. Goodbye, Genless. I love that this is on a 20-second cooldown. That's so good. You are expected, my lord. You are expected, my lord. Please proceed.
I thank you for answering my summons in these most interesting times. You have been busy.
Indeed.
The liberation of Alamigo will have far-reaching consequences, and there is a matter upon which I would seek your counsel. I speak of Rauban and his future.
Oh, she wants to bring it up herself. I kind of figured.
All know the tale of his rise from penniless refugee to member of the Syndicate and General of the Immortal Flames. Yet though he has come to call Uldar home, it will never be his homeland. He is a son of Alamigo. And now that she is free, I thought it only a matter of time before he sought my leave to return to her. Indeed, I had resigned myself to his loss. Suffice it to say, I was greatly surprised to hear him speak so lightly of handing over the reins in Alamigo and retaking his place at my side. I will welcome him with open arms, of course. He is my most trusted advisor and my dearest friend. But I have known the man a long time, and beneath that steely gaze, I spied a flicker of doubt.
Aww.
Whether Rauban chooses to remain in Uldar or return to Alamigo, I only wish that he do so with a heart unburdened by guilt or regret. Yet, how can he freely make such a choice, knowing how much I depend on him? It is past time that I learned to discharge my duties as a sultana alone. I must go forth and see my realm with my own eyes, and hear the wind with my own ears. Might I have your company for a brief adventure?
Aww. Are we gonna go adventuring with the Sultana?
Allow me a moment to change into something a touch less conspicuous, and I will join you outside.
What? We're going on an adventure with the Sultana? That's fun. What are we gonna do? So is this like whole post-Stormblood just adventure time? We're just gonna be going out with all our friends, doing a bunch of stuff. I mean, I'm down. That sounds awesome. That sounds hilarious. Hey, look at Nanamo. What do you think of Lyra, the merchant's daughter? This is the disguise I don when I wish to leave the palace and observe my subjects unnoticed. Ordinarily, Papa-san would accompany me, but for this particular outing I need an advisor, not a minder. And that is why I requested your company. Over the course of your many adventures, you have met people from all walks of life, in every corner of Eotia, and I would make use of your worldly experience. Now, let us be on our way. Our first destination is Stone's Throw, just beyond the Gate of Nald. Oh, okay. The Gate of Nald. This is so weird. Wow. I'm so high level, they're not even aggroing. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Why would a level 1 aggro to a level 70? It's just gonna die instantly. Look upon this procession of tattered tents. These refugee camps in squalor at the mercy of the elements, and Denland's predators both. The city's mighty walls offer safety, but the streets overflow with people as it is, and unless blessed by the hand of Nald himself, no refugee could ever hope to afford dwelling in Uldar. 20 years have passed since the fall of Alamigo, and 5 since the calamity, yet the plight of the poor has grown more desperate, not less. As Sultana, the blame falls upon me. Your hands have been tied, Your Grace. Yes, my authority is limited, and that is an obstacle I must work to overcome. Shall we press on? I would follow the road to the unholy air. Yeah, you can't say she's... saying she's done her best wouldn't give her the closer she would really be looking for. But her hands being tied is just a fact. She can't do as much as she could simply because of the frickin' syndicate. Like, she can't do anything. It was here, in this wholly unremarkable place, that my mother and father met their doom. I was but a child at the time. My parents were returning from an inspection of our interest in Eastern Thanalan, when an untimely rockslide crushed their carriage. To this day, it is not certain if the incident was simply misfortune or an expertly planned assassination. Raban once offered to reopen the investigation and bring me the truth he assumed I must surely crave, but I refused. Even if my parents' death were orchestrated by the monetarists, we could only have brought their hirelings to justice. The true villains, those who plot to put me on the throne as a biddable puppet, were ever beyond our reach. Thus did I plan to strip the merchants of their power and place our nation in the hands of its citizens. Quite unaware of the consequences of my actions would have for you and yours. I shudder to think how many goodly souls paid the price of my naivety. But I am no longer a child reciting words with witless obedience, and I will not be used as a pawn in the monetarist's damnable games. Ah, forgive me my outburst. You are one of the few people to whom I feel I can speak my mind. Come, let us return to Uldar and visit the Colosseum. Okay, the Colosseum. I'll fly there, because teleporting just costs more money that I don't need to spend. So let me do some thinking. The quest. Oh. I think I need 300,000. Or no, I only need 200,000 for... I'm thinking of the Zeta weapon quests. There's 4 of them currently that I haven't finished. I haven't finished a single one. Each of them requires 2 high quality materials at a total price of... what is it? Almost 100,000 gil each. It's like 90,000 each. So that's about 800,000 gil. plus the extra 200. I need 1,000,000 gil to finish. Oh my gosh.
From the moment I became Sotona, I found myself thrust into an endless parade of document signing and ceremonies. For years, I simply signed where I was told to sign, and sat where I was told to sit, blissfully ignorant, oblivious to what any of it meant. Yet one good thing did come from that ignominious chapter in my life, but it was during an official visit to the Colosseum that I first met Raban. The match I had been invited to attend was not at all what I expected. They had pitted the Bull of Alamigo against some dozen or so rival gladiators. Blinkered though I was, I could not stand for so oblivious an injustice, and demanded to see a fair fight, one man against another, and my royal wish was duly granted. It was not until later that I learned of the gambling ring which had arranged for Raban to die on the sands that day. Regardless, my intervention meant that Raban had but a single opponent to dispatch, which he duly did. And when he knelt before me to receive the winner's purse, he swore that he would one day offer me his blade in service. Surrounded as I was by liars and manipulators, I confess I dismissed it as a pleasant piece of theater. But as you know, Raban is a man of his word. Though it took him another 5 years of fighting on the Blood Sands, he amassed a fortune so great as to buy not only his freedom, but a seat on the Syndicate. And then I had my blade.
Whoa. Raban is so cool.
Your Grace, you mustn't! The danger is too great! Please, Your Grace, come back! I beg of you!
It seems you're the one who needs looking after, Master Chef. Raban!
Your Grace. I have kept the promise made.
So you have, and in turn, so too shall I keep mine.
That was cute.
With your winnings, you have become one of the 6 most wealthy souls in all Uldar. And so, as tradition dictates, Rauben Aldin, you have earned yourself a seat on the Syndicate. May your new station garner you still greater glories.
I am honored, Your Grace, and vow to serve with every fiber of my being from this day till my last. Long live the Sultana, and long live Uldar!
Oh, she's so happy.
Words cannot well express what that man means to me. There are others who care deeply for my well-being, of course. Pabashan's love for me is as that of a grandsire for his grandchild. But upon matters of governance, I cannot turn to bodyguards and maidservants for counsel. Raban, with his authority on of his syndicate position, was the first sword I could wield. He was the only edge with which I could cut the strings that bound me.
Aww. Was that? What did I get? I got some tea? Doman tea? Oh, that probably tastes so good.
We must make haste. My absence will not go unnoticed by the Sultan Sworn for long, and there are other places I would visit. To the Arzaneth ossuary.
That word. What a word. Eek. Oh, it's the Thaumaturgist Guild, okay. I was like, where even is that? Okay, Thaumaturgist Guilds. Here we are. Oh man, I haven't been here in a while. Oh, excuse me. Oh. Oh boy.
When the calamity threatened, Raban led the
Ooh. Let me restart that.
When the calamity threatened, Raban led the Alliance forces into battle on the plains of Cartano, and I remained here. I prayed with all my heart that Archon Louissois would have the power to rouse the 12. Since that day, I have made a custom of visiting this shrine during each of my little excursions. Here, I seek the blessing of Thaw, reflect upon my choices, and ask myself if I am fulfilling my duties as Sultana. You are rightly celebrated as a champion because you have led the line in 100 battles for the good of Eorzea. In much the same way, I believe the measure of the monarch lies in how she leads her people in the times of adversity. If I am to be a Sultana worthy of the name, I cannot turn a blind eye to the troubles facing Ul'dah. I have chosen my path, Call, and with Ala Mhigo now freed from imperial chains, I finally see a way to aid the refugees.
Oh.
Already, many displaced Alamigans seek to begin a long trek home. To facilitate that process, I have made a small contribution, an artisan school in Rauger's Reach for any who wish to learn new trades. Realistically, however, it will take years for such training to yield tangible benefits. But we do not have years. These people will need shelter and employment if they are to survive, and this time, the Ul'dah Treasury shall provide. Precisely where and how to allocate the necessary funds is, of course, another question.
Huh. Why not seek the advice of one who employs a refugees? Ask a member of the syndicate for advice. They're not gonna want to do it because that... I'll do this one.
A wise suggestion. Mayhap a visit to the Golden Saucer is in order. Its proprietor is a member of the syndicate, and he is one of the few who pay refugees a fair wage. I wonder, are you acquainted with Godbert Mandeville?
No, not really.
Ah, well, he is our most generous man, if something of an eccentric. Let us make our way to the landing, and I will see that word is sent to the Gold Saucer. Godbert should only be too glad to receive us.
Alright, the airship landing. That I can do. Oh, I'm jealous. I'm getting sent pictures of mint ice cream. Why are they doing this to me? It's not fair. What is that for? Oh. Oh, because it's all for... Yeah, those are the side quests in the Gold Saucer.
I have ridden aboard a public airship before, but this shall be my first visit to the Gold Saucer. I must confess to some excitement.
Travel to the Gold Saucer. The Manderville Gold Saucer. I've only been here, like, once. Oh, it's bright.